I didn't tell these to come on. Welcome back to the channel. Behind me, or next to me, or sidewards facing. 1972 BMW 2002. Yes, she's a little rally race car scheme. I mean, it's cool. It has the twin carbs under the hood. It's an automatic, which is kind of odd for me. I don't really work on too many of them nowadays, or just in general. But anyway, it's in here for a run and drivability issue. Backstory that I was given or presented, with the book of knowledge, was owner, well, how did it go? Owner had it actually maintained by a shop here in town in Louisville who, specializes in, or at least specialized in, older cars. Well, they moved shops. The person that wrenched on this particular vehicle, or their older fleet, I guess you want to call it, is no longer with them. So didn't have a maintenance home, if you will. Owner took it to another shop in town and got it back worse than it was to begin with, apparently. But that's neither here or there. What we're going to do on this one is figure out the run drivability issue. Apparently, when it gets hot or a couple miles under it, she starts to break down and shut off. I think I might know what's wrong with it, but we got to do the testing and the all the cross the T's and dot the lowercase J's for this one. But let me get this hood open. We'll actually fire it up and hear how she's running. I'll tell you this much, it does not sound that healthy. Something is definitely off, and that's not even starting with the runnability issue. So let me get this thing, arranged so that you guys can see what's going on. All right, hood's open, yada yada. Engine semi-cold start. Like I said, I drove here. We'll see how she runs. Like I said, when it pulled in, she sputtered a bit. So let's see what she sounds like on the on the fire up. Can I twist it off from here? That'd be nice. I can't reach. Well, idles or starts. Up pops. I don't know if that hinking sound is picking up on my mic. All right, I don't know how much of the audio actually will pick up. But there's a rattly, knocky, clanky noise from the front of the engine, and well, she's doing a lot of that. I think the first things being first-ish, gonna check the timing on this thing, see if it's where it wants to be, and also actually fired up pretty good. What I'm gonna do is pop off that air filter and check the balance on the carbs. See if that's just off, because I need it to idle long enough to get hot enough to, not run. So I guess what I'm getting at is I actually need the car to run so that it won't run. I know, weird for diagnostics, but just how this works. So let me get set up, pull this air box off, and see what we got going on under there. Off. Pop off. Get my snail and just see, a preliminary on what she's pulling. Well, if you... Ish. A little more. Alright, for how I can jam my snail in, let's see if I can dial it some. Because this thing's running very violently. I don't know how much that picked up in the video as far as the angle and dangle of the camera, but it wasn't having any of it. I adjusted screws, so on and so forth. Started running really rough, but don't think it's the fuel settings or the idle air mix screw adjustments I did. I think this is the concern that he had, where it would drive and then just start running like poop and shutting down. Let's see if she refires, because that was the other thing. He said it wouldn't it would just sit, and this was a startability, runability complaint. Wouldn't refire. Ugh. Oh yeah, she's not happy. All right, you guys probably definitely saw in that shot that I'm walking using you to see where I'm going, that it wasn't happy. So that was just earthquaking, earthquaking around. Not 100% sure on what it is yet. Sounds like sounds fuel related, but not really. Let me check that coil. I would expect that to be a lot warmer. That's bone cold. All right, I'm going to do something real quick. I'm going to swap out this ignition coil. Not saying it's bad, but it seems like it's a spark issue. warmer, warmer it gets, break down coil, so on and so forth. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but we'll give this a whirl. Throw a coil on and see what happens. All things being good, it should work, as soon as it gets plugged in. So let me grab one. I'll be right back. That I've done, but well, they'll do. Which one's which? Positive. You can go there, and then the negative will go on, obviously, the other side. All right. So let's say positive on this one. Boop. And a negative. Well, the good thing is this already has electronic ignition. So that could be failing too. And negative. So right now this spare coil's hot. Let me twist the key and see if it'll start any better or at all. Whoa! So tight. All right, well, she's doing the same thing. What's gurgling? Maybe is that a sign? Where's my light? Show you what I see, but I'm curious if we have float issues on this thing or fuel pressure. I'm going to disconnect the fuel pump and see if maybe fuel pressure is an issue, because it's coming. I don't know if you can tell. These bores are soaked, so it's fuel is going to where it needs to be. It's just I think too much. I think there's too much pressure, which is weird because it's still running the mechanical pump, but the mechanical pump might be putting out, I don't know what the boost, the actual pressure is for one of these engines. So it might be a bit more than 2 and whatever that's supposed to be for these carburetors, usually. So let's see. Yeah, let me disconnect this fuel line and see if that solves something. Let's go. All right. So now that line's disconnected from the tank. Let me twist the key and see if she'll light off, and if it does light off, see if it runs smooth, because it sounds like she's getting to a flooding condition. I'm not even going to pump the gas on this one. We'll just turn the key. Oh, she's getting better. Hold on. A little more. Let me go full throttle. See if I can clear that flood. Almost. All right, well, fell on his face. Now, those carbs are still excessively wet. Let's see. Let's pull a plug and see what that looks like. If it is a overfueling issue, obviously it's going to be wet, and you don't want it to be wet, because that means, there's a lot of fuel in there. So let me get some spark plugs or wrench. I'll be right back. Not what I want to say. It's dry. Champion. Good. If you're a lawnmower. Anyway, let me pull off, and this was cylinder 2. which is one of the ones that's, just ejecting fuel out the front of it. I'll pull one and see if that's any different. Looks like we got a mystery on our hands. Number one, what are you going to tell me? Let's see. Can I even get you in here? Nope, same. Number one, clean. And they're also, I don't know if it'll pick up, they're burning evenly, not overly rich or anything like that. So fuel doesn't seem to be the issue. Why are you shutting down? All right, plugs are clean. Coil, I know the coil works. That's on here. So plugs and coil, we know it's getting air. Could it be the electronic module? Might be. Wonder, looks like a Volkswagen distributor. I wonder if it's the same. Because I do have them in stock. But it's definitely stay. But it's, I'm brainstorming, thinking, walking with you guys, but it's definitely cutting out like it's a, it's not a fuel, it's cutting out like it's an electronic issue, because when it gets warm, it don't work. So, I'm gonna let this thing sit for a minute or 7, and I'll get back to you and then turn the key and see if it fires after a cool down. All right, let this thing cool down. I'll be right back to you. All right, well, this feels like deja vu if you've been watching these videos with the blue bug. Ignition, I got the timing light, where it is, over there. I'm gonna turn the key over. I'm gonna turn, like I said, deja vu from last time, it feels like, if you watch that Blue Beetle. Got timing light set up. I'm gonna turn the key over. It's not gonna strobe, or it didn't strobe. I'm thinking the electronics in this thing have taken a poop. Keep your eye, it's over there somewhere. It's next to the coil. You know, the blue thing. No strobe. And look, oh. All right, I ran a quick, spark test the way I normally run spark tests, and it's not getting any signal. So what I'm going to do is swap out to a Volkswagen electronic pickup module and throw that in, because they look about the same and I have one. If they don't work, well, I'm going to have to order one. But let me swap that out and see if we get some spark out of this thing, because I think it just lost spark. At least I'm hoping. All right, let's start ripping this thing apart. Like I said, it's acting like it lost spark, and well, it's electronic, so we're gonna replace this module. Like I said, I have a Volkswagen one. The distributors look about comparable, so we're just gonna, beep and boop it. See that? So nothing's touching. Where's my pickup router? Boop that guy on. Red goes to red. And blue goes to yellow. Stab this cap back on. All right, that's still connected, that's still connected. All right, let's turn this key and see if we get something. What happened there? Oh. That's why you don't pull on things. Well, she's trying to start. Still got any spark out of the box yet. See if we can get this thing to fire, though. No, I don't want wipers. Hey, turn these off. All right, she fired. Let me reconnect this fuel line and see if we have any different change of events. Just plug that on, it'll siphon in. Let's see what happens. Oh, I don't even have that lead hooked up. It's like, why isn't that thing blinking? Where is it? Here. Obviously it runs, but that thing should flash now, even if it doesn't start. Hopefully I picked up on camera, but that's at least sending signal now to do that. Let me get you to the other side, and hopefully all we have now is a carb tuning issue. As far as too much fuel, too little fuel, stuff like that. She's spitting and sputtering a little bit. Sounds like she's on the leaner side. Because, like I said, we pulled those, at least cylinder 1 and 2's plugs out, and it's dry. So let me put some fatness into this and see if that'll wake it up. Also, I think the old coil's good. All right. Let me twist this thing off, get it running again, and see if I can dial in these carbs or get them to at least idle better. It's hitting like it's out of time as well, so we'll double check that as well, also. Well, now what happened? Maybe that coil is bad. That's weird. Maybe that coil is bad. Let's hook mine up again. So strange. Plug that in. Negative in. Oh, I mean. It helps when you put the HT lead back on. Dummy. Let's try that again. Unplug that. We're going to reconnect, again, the old coil. Except, put the, you can't see. Actually, remember to put the HT lead back into it. Man, that could have been a problem. All right, let's twist it off. Oh yeah, she's definitely cranking like she's out of time. bit. See if I can get it to where it's a little happier. Because she's still a little jumpy. And I'll come back and need a wrench. Anyway, I'll come back obviously after and hit it with my gun and actually get it to where it needs to be. I just want to see if moving the distributor will, solve a little of this. Run a lot smoother here. I gotta grab another wrench to tighten that backside. Oh please. Actually, I'll let it run. Alright, she's running a lot smoother right now. Still has a little bit of jump, but also has, dual levers on it, not sure the jetting, and, headers. So she might just have a natural, giddy up to her. Let me shut this thing off and see how the fire up is. Because like I said, right now it's the ear bowl or eyeball, ear bowl, tuning. Oh, much better. All right, right now, she'll start, she'll idle. Carbs, idle jet, might have to go up size. I might have some. That'd be weird. I don't know if IDAs and think these are Duhawks, whatever the hell they are. I don't know if they run the same jet, but if they do, I have 50s. So let's hope they're smaller than a 50, which they should be bigger technically, because it's a bigger engine in a Volkswagen. Not sure, but anywho, she at least starts the fires. Let me get the real timing light on this thing and see exactly where I have this thing, beep booping at. I'll be really close if the old ear dynamometer timer meter actually is working correctly. So give me a second. Let me get the good one. All right. High-techy timing light. The reason I like this is I got a digital readout for the rip'ems and everything else. Immediately. Where are we at? Timing hole is back here. 1500 we're already. And I see the mark. We're right where we need to be. Myself on the back because I'm not, what face? Let's use the clean side. Well, not the, the old back self, but the old ear dynamometer. Pretty freaking spot on. To the point where I'm not going to adjust it. It's firing up easy. As you heard before, it didn't do that. Let me actually shut this thing off. Because the other thing is, I'm going to let this thing idle to see if it dies again. Actually, I'll do it now. We'll just, I'll walk with the commentation. is the backboard. All right, I'm gonna let this thing, like I said, you heard it. You probably heard it at the beginning of the clip. Thing is in here because it's a startability, runability complaint. You saw it when it came in. I mean, you're basically real time, as I am working on this thing. I am gonna shut this off. We have a new development. Because nothing ever stops here. All right. New development is, I don't know if you picked up in the audio when I disappeared and heard the car rev up slightly. That's when I hit the brake. The power booster has leakies. Well, hold on. I don't even know how to orientate it. Let me start this thing, and I'll just yell at you what I'm doing. Ugh. All right, obviously it started. Hitting the brake. Revving up. Brake off. Settling back down. Brake again. Revving back up. All right, so it has a bad power booster. That's telling me the power booster's bad. That's fantastic. What am I going to do to properly, figure that out, because that's probably unobtainium. And the brakes are pretty hard, so I doubt it's actually working well. I'm going to take off the line, plug it, and hit the brake. See if she stabilizes out. Give me a second. Let me find some plugs. All right. With the help of a lug, where'd you go? Lug nut. Let's start this thing up. I'm going to start this thing up, hit the brake again, and see if she does the idle rev. It shouldn't. And also the brakes, because they weren't working correctly, won't feel like they changed at all. So that's a good thing. Brake on, no change. Brake off, brake on, brake off, brake on, reverse. Solid engagement. All right. So the power brake booster is bad. That could have led to tuning issues on this engine. So that's good. Check for vacuum leaks, guys. Even if it seems weird that it's leaking from someplace that you wouldn't think of, I guess is what I'm getting at. So that's taken care of. What else do we got? Oh yeah, I gotta let this thing idle for a bit and see if she cuts out like she did hopefully in the beginning of this video. If it doesn't, I'm gonna say clean bill of health. That electronic unit took a crap. Like I said, it seemed like it was something electronic, heating up and breaking down. So I'll let this thing, and who knew Volkswagen? So let me fire this thing up, and we'll see if this thing, obviously does stuff. I mean, it's immediate, but I'll get back to you whenever this thing is, done running or not. Stay tuned for an update. Slight update for you. Car's running nice smooth. One thing I did notice, because I haven't taken off my timing light yet, is, can you go over here? I don't know if it'll pick up. She's running 12.1, 12.2. It's not charging. Or it's hardly charging. Well, you wake her up or you whack it. She's at 13 now. All right, never mind. We're gonna continue to let this thing, warm up and see if it falls on its face or not. But so far, I think it's been running for about 5 minutes and sounds good. I don't even have any air blowing on the front end, fan-wise to, cool it, because I want it to get hot. it's testing. But let me continue to let this thing do things, and I'll get back to you. Update anyway. 20 minutes about idling. I mean, she's still doing what it was doing, idling. So, yeah, I say that's done. Let me get this sweet Itga air cleaner on, and go over this thing real quick. Oh, also, if you're wondering why the idle is so high, or idle high, it's an automatic. Once you put it into, a gear, it loses about 600 RPM. So, unfortunately, it has to idle high. I don't like it, but as soon as you slap it into gear, she'll drop down to right around 800. So, just the nature of this combination, I guess. So, let me get this thing on, and I'll get right back to you. All right, guys, as you can probably tell by the scenery behind me, it's the next day. Want to let this thing sit and, cold soak. So this is the first time we're going to be doing a cold start on this engine to see if it's actually will cold start. Because I also know the owner was saying it didn't like most things that, I don't know, aren't properly tuned. It ran like poop in the morning, or until it got some heat into it. So, wouldn't want to start long cranks, so on and so forth. I'm rambling. Anywho, we're going to see if this thing will actually, cold start. And also, I don't know if I said it, we have to make doors, door. So, see if it fires up, and then we'll get on to the doors. Because engine-wise, we're done. I'm waiting on a answer for him for the booster. And check parts, man. I don't think one exists. I see a lot of delete kits, but an actual booster, it's gonna be interesting. So we'll wait on a confirmation on that. But let's see if she cold starts. Oof! Give her 2 pumps. Contact. No contact. What happened? Park. Contact. Seems like she cold starts to me. All right. Those seats are nice, but they are very uncomfortable. All right, well, the cold start was fine. Turn the key. Well, after you put it into, park, because neutral safety, fires right up. Anywho, we're going to try to tackle this door and try to get it to door. Because the last shop that, managed to get this thing running enough to go 3 blocks and break down said it was, I don't know, their body shop, body guy, whatever. Apparently, it was like 15 to plus hours to get both these doors to actually shut, because you gotta take them off and move them and do lots of body work. To me, the door aligns. It seems like the gasket's, not correctly massaged in there. And the reason I say that is it has new gasket in it, and it's hitting. So I think what I'm going to do is peel back this gasket. I know it's new gasket. I don't know if it's a center out. I'm going to trim it back so that it will clearance. Because looking in here, well, you can't see because I'm up here. Looking here, when the door shuts, the gasket's pinching on the door or whatever. Actually, we'll do a quick test. I'm gonna peel back the gasket and see if the door shuts without it impeding, or without it sticking. That's fine. Oh, this gasket's even put on delightfully too. All right, I'll just peel it back. We'll reset it to about where that door is. I'll tuck it in a second. But this windlace is in the way, or whatever you guys want to call it. Massage it. So we'll just tuck this up here and get it out of the way of the door panel, because it seems like it's hitting right where the door panel would be. Pull up a little more, just so I know I'm out of its way. Let's see if 15 to whatever hours would is what's needed, because I could be wrong. I wasn't wrong. Here, let me move you guys around a bit. The gasket was in the way. When it's in place, it pinches the corner of the door. So what I'm going to do is, shave it and then reaffix it to, make it shut. I'm going to recontour the gasket to fit this door, is what I'm getting at. Maybe I'll only charge them 10 hours for this. But stay tuned. I might run time lapse for this one. So, because I don't know how much commentary. It's like golf. I'm going to cut back a gasket, glue it in, and then see if the door shuts. And rinse and repeat. Probably run time lapse on this one. And chime in with my beautiful face when, something inevitably, goes terrible. But the same thing on the driver's side. Passenger side, I have a little more free range of motion to show you what's going on. So I'll be right back. I'll run some time lapse and show you guys what's going on. All right, guys, after a bunch of trimming and, massaging and gluing, the door actually shuts. I had to trim a lot of the seal off. It's still sealing where it needs to, in the channel, except the lips that are on it don't jive with this door too well. Don't know why. So with that said, it actually does, and I had to adjust the lock. Might have to do it again, but it shuts. That's what he wanted. Gonna let this sit, 24 hours, what have you. Let all that glue dry and come back, readjust it if need be. But, or re-glue it if it comes loose, so on and so forth. I need it to settle so I can do final adjustments on it. And not really, because I really don't like, slamming the crap out of the door. But let me get the other side knocked out. It's going to be the same process, guarantee it. If it's not, I'll chime in. But let me get the other side knocked out, and I'll get back to you, because I think we have some trim to put on the outside of this car. All right, stay tuned. All right, guys, story time. Recap, 30 minutes, whatever I have. 02 to 7202 is done as far as right now. Chrome trim still needs to be put on, but I got to get with the owner to see what he wants to do about it, because I don't feel like, comfortable just constantly scat patching it. I'd rather do the one and done. So figure out that. The doors, like I said, the shop that this came from that made it 2 blocks, only, I managed to tell them that it would take about 15 hours to get the doors to shut. I think I'm about 2 hours, maybe 3 into it. Waiting on the glue to dry so I can do final adjustment on it, because if you keep working, it's just going to keep pulling back. So that's neither here or there. The run drivability issue, one of the main reason it came in, that's solved. Turns out the electronic module is, crapped out. I did ohm the coil. It does ohm at 3 ohms. So it is the correct coil for the application for the electronics that are in it. Wanted to make sure it wasn't like a premature, wear out or anything like that, but it just seems like it failed. But doors are done, engine's running. Sorry, no test drive yet. I will get a video on that one, but it's wet out. I don't drive cars when they're wet outside, just, liability, other people on the road. So that's all taken care of. Like I said, the chrome, I'll get with him on that. Test drive when it dries. I'll cut a quick video on that one. But engine solid, I'm going to recommend upjetting the idles. I'm maxed out to my comfort level on the idle air mix screws. But it seems happy with it, so, we might leave them. I don't know. It's just my personal taste on, jetting carbs or doing dual carbs. But with that said, I think this car is pretty well sorted as of right now. Oh yeah, and the brakes. I got to get, still waiting on a response what he wants to do with them. Brake boosters, almost unattainable for these things. So I can go with a dual master non-power system, but I mean, you're getting into a lot of dollars at that point, or you just deal with the firm pedal that this thing's probably always had, and no noticeable difference with the booster connector disconnected kind of thing. It's not really a safety issue. It's just more of a, you got to put a little more work into stopping. But with that said, I think this is going to wrap up this episode of this 1972-2002. Terrible thing to Google if you need parts, by the way. But anyway, if you did like this video, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. If you do, I promise you we will chit chat. And as always, have a good one and thanks for watching.